Hello, everyone, and welcome to Healthy Mind and Body with Fee. And today I have my friend with me, Lala. Lala, tell them about who you are.
Hi, guys. I'm Lala. I'm the founder of Innovative Prolific Solutions, where I focus on care coordination, consultancy, helping families navigate the healthcare systems.
Thanks. And I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit. Today's topic is going to be about high cholesterol. I know. A lot of people don't know a lot about it. They have an idea. They may get diagnosed with it, but it's just kind of like take this pill and it'll get you through, essentially. All right. So I'm going to give you the general definition by CDC guidelines. All right. What is cholesterol? Blood cholesterol is a waxy fat-like substance made by your liver. Blood cholesterol is essential for good health. Your body needs it to perform important jobs such as making hormones and digesting fatty foods. Your body makes all the blood cholesterol it needs, which is why experts recommend that people eat as little dietary cholesterol as possible while on a healthy eating plan. All right. And so, Lola, I wanted you to tell them a little bit about what happens in the body when a person has high cholesterol.
So, if there's too much cholesterol in the blood vessels, the cholesterol and other substances will start to form plaque in your arteries. And so, what plaque is a fatty substance that causes your artery walls to thicken and become stiff. It can also cause your artery walls to become narrowed or blocked. So when that happens, plaque can rupture. And when plaque rupture, it causes blood clots or any other chronic health conditions, for example, heart attacks, strokes, etc.
Mm-hmm. And good.
Yeah. So I was just going to tell you about the symptoms and the signs of cholesterol also. And so there are really no symptoms of cholesterol, but when you start to have heart attacks, strokes, or any other heart disease, chest pain, of course, that's when you start to notice and your doctor will start to test you for cholesterol levels.
Yeah. And you know how you guys may hear the letters like LDL, HDL, triglycerides. So your LDL, those are bad cholesterol. So having high levels of LDL cholesterol can lead to plaque buildup in your arteries and result in heart disease or stroke, as Lala just shared. And your HDL, which is good cholesterol, is known as good cholesterol because high levels it can lower your risk of heart disease and stroke. All right. So different foods that basically correlate to having high cholesterol would be red meat, processed meats like sausages, full fat dairy, like cream, whole milk, and butter. So you want to kind of try to stay away or just do things in moderation. I know we're human. We have, these desires for certain foods that just taste so good, but too much of anything can be bad for you, right? So let's just try to be mindful of, what we're eating and how we're preparing our food by substituting the oils that we're using to things like extra virgin olive oil or even using coconut oil. Some of those olive oils they have a really high cooking point. So sometimes people may be like, oh, well, I deep fry certain thing. But if you're using extra virgin olive oil in those, just making those small substitutions will help. Anything else that you would like to add?
Another oil that would be great is grapeseed oil.
Yes. Yes.
So that's another one that I like to use as well.
Yeah.
Or what about avocado oil?
Avocado oil is good because you want to think about these are healthy fats, and I think that's what I kind of try to stress with even when I see my clients one-on-one. Like you want to try to focus on using healthy fats. Like even when they're doing like the avocado toast, I'm like, avocado, just eating it in its raw state is a healthy fat. So I'm okay with you adding that to some toast, in the morning. So yeah. It's the little things people don't realize, you're eating healthy. They don't even do it.
Better than butter.
Definitely better than butter. Okay. Yeah. I remember having this conversation with my mother, about, how she eats and when she got diagnosed with high cholesterol years ago. And I think people are more visual. Mm-hmm. And so I literally like Googled a picture for her to show her what's literally happening in her body with having high cholesterol. And I wasn't trying to freak her out. I wasn't trying to like put the fear of God in her, because people tend to think, oh, well, she always take it to the extreme, but that's not it. But I think sometimes people do need the raw truth, because I feel like when they don't have an idea of what's actually happening, they think that they can, I can do it in moderation, but in their mind, they're not doing it that often. But if somebody like me were to come in, you're eating this stuff probably like 4, 5, 6 times a week or more, even looking at my mom, eating fried foods. Now she's cut down. She's gotten a lot better now, because I think she's more mindful. But before, when I sent her the picture initially, I was like, Mom, I just want you to see what's going on inside of your body. And it did, freak out. And she did good for a few days. Then reality set back in. She's like, again, I know I don't expect people to make these changes overnight, but my goal in that whole thing with her was just to show her what's actually happening.
Right. And I would just say, from my personal experience, I'm actually diagnosed with high cholesterol, y'all. So who am I to get on here and start teaching people? But definitely just want to educate people, because Fee knows me and knows how I eat, and it's not the best, but I will say that I'm trying to be consistent, and trying to implement other things, other healthy foods, more vegetables, more fruit into my diet, because Chick-fil-A will give you cholesterol, very high cholesterol. And I think when you eat
high blood pressure,
when you eat Chick-fil-A, multiple times throughout the week, people don't realize how bad it really is for you, how much sodium it has, just everything is really bad about it. And so maybe, for the future, maybe not get the adult meal every time you go, but maybe the kids meal, every once in a while. So definitely staying active, controlling your diet is the best thing to do, because when I got my numbers back, I was like, wait a minute now.
So I have to ask you, and I appreciate you sharing that with the audience, like for real.
I'm like, what is going on?
What was that like for you? Yeah,
I think it was hard, because I'm a person that's very hard on my grandparents about eating bad, and my grandfather used to eat really bad. And I used to get on him so much about eating bad. And he would be like, well, I'm 70. I'm in my 70s. I can't eat good. I've been eating like this my whole life. But then it was like, how can I sit here and tell this man, okay, you need to change your diet, and then I'm not changing my diet. And even though I'm in my 20s, I still have time to catch it. I still have time to reverse it. So it's like, let me take this time serious to, because I don't want to be on a bunch of medications. I don't want to be, getting all these different medications, trying to wake up every morning taking 10 pills. Like, nobody wants to do that. Like, that's ridiculous. Pray for people who do it, but definitely understand that everything is reversible. And so it is hard when you see the numbers. It's like, oh man, let me slow down. let me figure this out. Let me talk to Fee. Let me go talk to Fee so I can talk to her, or Destiny, talk to them about these things, because what I was going through, it was like, no. And like she mentioned, which kind of was new to me, about the hormones and how, it could affect. And then, I'm sitting here like, my hormones are out of whack. I don't know what's going on. I'm not understanding. Face is breaking out, not understanding any of it, but not realizing that it's still all coming from the food you digest. So again, me having high cholesterol wouldn't put 2 and 2 together, but now it's all coming to me like, oh wait, okay, so this could really be, a new thing for me, especially when I'm trying to reverse my hormones and trying to get my hormones back to a good balance, but also reversing the cholesterol as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I always try to stress to people, like, it's the foods that we're eating. Like,
it's the Chick-fil-A.
The Chick-fil-A, the McDonald's, Burger King, the Wendy's, every last one of them, honey. Again, in moderation. That stuff is cool. It's cool. I'm not knocking it. I grew up on eating that stuff. Now, my mom cooked us some home meals. I remember, funny thing, I remember being a kid, my mom had just went grocery shopping. And when you leave the grocery store, McDonald's is sitting right there.
And you is not cooking them groceries right now.
I was like, Mom, can we please? I just want to get, what was it, the number 2 with no onions. This is when I was eating beef and stuff because I don't eat all that now. But I was like, can we please? I said, man, I really want it so bad. I was like, Mom, the fries are looking, I mean, the lights on top of the McDonald's looking like they're fries. And she was like, girl, if you don't sit down, we got food in the trunk back here. We're going to cook when we get home. But that's how the marketing is set up, right? Like we just grocery shop and we gonna come out here to all these fast food restaurants.
Exactly. Or even while you're at the grocery store, when you're in the aisle, checking out, what do you see? Candy, chips, sodas, energy drinks.
Yep.
Temptation is facing you all the time.
Yeah.
And it is hard, y'all. It's extremely hard to eat healthy. I love my carbs. I love my pasta. I love my chocolate. I love my Chick-fil-A. Don't get me wrong. I still love my Wendy's. But, you know, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, pasta, and chocolate has not done anything for me.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't done nothing for me but gain weight.
Yeah. And like I said, I just being mindful. It does take a lot of practice and self-discipline. I'm not going to say I was always I was health conscious, but I think as I've gotten older, it's probably definitely like uber health conscious. Just in growing up, as I shared with you guys in the last podcast when we were going over, I was sharing with my family with diabetes, and I learned at an early age just the importance of not eating like that. You know, again, especially since that means I'm more susceptible of getting those chronic conditions. So I just was more mindful. But food just plays such a large role in our health, and just making small little changes in our diet will make a difference. I remember my mom, like I said, she has high cholesterol. And I was like, Mom, you should do this MCT oil, which is medium chain triglycerides. Please look that up. But my mom, her levels were through the roof. I remember sharing with Destiny because I was so concerned. I was like, girl, my mom numbers. I mean, I ain't even gonna say the numbers on here, but they were in the hundreds. Like it was bad. And her doctor, you know, she went back, like after I had told her to do the MCT oil, she went back and her doctor was like, it was still high, but it wasn't as high. Like it was like in the low 100s opposed to in the, let's just say on up in the hundreds. It was up. And he was like, what are you doing? She was like, well, my daughter got me taking this oil. That's the only thing that I've changed. She got me taking it. Like it doesn't have any flavor or anything like that.
Right.
So I think, I mean, if you tried it, you want to talk about it?
Yes, you put me onto the oil as well. So I drink it every morning with my tea. It, you know, it just makes your water look a little greasy. That's what it looks like. But it just
don't have flavor.
It doesn't have no flavor. It literally shows you that oil and water do not mix. you know, but it has no flavor. I feel like, you know, mixing it with my tea is fine. Mixing it with a little bit of honey. It really has no flavor. I don't know if I can just take a spoonful of it, but
I used to just shoot it. I just shoot it straight.
But you know, I just don't think I'd be able to take it because of the texture, the oil.
I get it. It's not for everybody.
It definitely hasn't been harmful. I can't wait to go back, you know, to the doctor to get retested for cholesterol to see, you know, how much it has impacted me. But I'm on it, and I have my mom using it as well. So I
mean, just it's just little things like that. But like you sound like you're excited to see what your results will be. It's from you making those small change,
right?
On top of other changes that you've implemented, right? You know, so I'm excited to hear. Yeah. It's the little things, you guys. But again, I can't harp on the whole, you know, nutrition thing. Like it's eating healthy. People think eating healthy is just eating salads. Like I remember like if I have like a consultation with a client the first time, and I'm like, I don't be wanting to feel like they have to lie to me. Like I'm here to help you. I'm not here to like judge you at all. So I'm like, so what do you eat? And they're like, I said, just tell me what a typical day from your breakfast, lunch, even the snacks, like in your dinners, like. And they'll be like, you know what, you know, I try to throw a salad in, and I'm like,
and the fun,
you ain't. I be agreeing with them, but I think a lot of them appreciate that. I'm like, you know, you ain't eating no salad.
They are so intimidated by us. No,
they are.
And my thing is like I'm explaining to them, I'm just like you. I do not eat salads. I don't always eat salads. I don't always eat, fruit. I don't always eat vegetables. So it's okay. Just be honest. Like if you eating grits or you eating a toast with some jelly, let us know so we can help you. Like we can't help you if you're going to lie about it.
I'm like, what are we doing here? I'm like, look, you're not about to waste my time. Okay, what we're not about to do is sit here and lie. I said, I don't even eat salads every day. Right. I love them, but I don't eat them every day. Yeah. So, once we have that conversation and kind of get that awkwardness out of the way and them feeling like they got to lie. Yes. I'm like, because it's not, your doctor sent you to me for a reason. Like, your number's not lying.
Because if we do a wellness check, and we've done a wellness check on some clients, and we've seen the stick of butter on the toast, and we're like,
put the whole stick. Like, literally, I didn't know people really did it. Like, in real life.
And so, until we saw it, we were like, I'm like, okay, see, talk. But I just wanted to share this fun fact that I've learned since being diagnosed with cholesterol. I will say a lot of people in their 20s are starting to get diagnosed with it earlier than normal. I don't think people get diagnosed until a later age, but they are seeing a lot of people in their 20s get diagnosed more often. And like I said, it really could just be because all of us in our 20s, I feel like we are on this trend. We're eating fast food. Right?
You want it quick. Food all You're not cooking
together. Yeah, and not cooking, not meal prepping. A lot of us are on and off on our workout journey. Me. So so we just have to be honest with ourselves. Just because we're in our 20s and we're young doesn't mean that nothing's gonna happen. I mean, it's just building up. It's building up. It's building up. And if you don't want to again be on a bunch of medications, have heart attacks, have strokes, who wants to experience all of that? Like that's not life. Like nobody wants to do that. And some of those things like heart attacks and strokes are happening at an earlier age. Like we're seeing it all around, and so I think it has a lot to do with more just with eating than anything, because you can work out and still have a heart attack. So I think, again, so all together, the food, I mean, we're seeing it in the sports world right now. Those athletes are working out all day long, but who knows what they're consuming, the Gatorade they're drinking. They promote Gatorade so much. But,
it's high in sodium. Y'all better start reading these nutrition fact labels.
Again, you just don't know. And so I do encourage everybody in their 20s to go to the doctor, get your physical, get your blood work done, because you just never know, and it'd be too late before you catch it. And it's like, you don't want to wait too late. You just want to go ahead and get your annual check-ins. I mean, we're grown in our 20s. If we're still grown, let's be grown and go to the doctor and do what we need to do. And because we know we're not doing the right things. We drinking alcohol, we going out, we eating fast food, we eating wings, we eating all of that. It's not worth it anymore.
That's true. And you can't work off a bad diet. I don't care how much you in the gym. You in there 7 days a week for 2 hours.
And I don't know 7 bottles a day.
Yep. You're drinking sodas and all that stuff, and you're wondering why you're not seeing results, but you're busting your behind in the gym. You cannot work off a bad diet unless you just got like some superhero genes.
The physical side of it would be, I think, is nice, but you don't understand what's
happening on the inside. Yeah, I always tell you, some people, they look good on the outside and they can be so unhealthy on the inside. Like you said, like looking good and then they're in the gym, but all of a sudden they have a heart attack and you don't realize that they're eating trash. They got like a trash diet. So, I'm glad that you brought that up, and I would hope that this podcast isn't just for someone who's older that have these chronic conditions. It's for everyone, because like you said, people are getting diagnosed at a much younger age and at a higher rate nowadays, because people are always on the move. They're looking for something fast so they can just eat and go. And a lot of times we probably wait until we're starved out and we're not thinking clearly. We're just trying to kill the hunger. We ain't thinking about trying to get in there and healthy.
Exactly. And then you got to think, like, on top of all of that, your mental health is adding on to it as well. The stress that you're going through, the anxiety, the depression, and we're seeing it at such a younger age now that it's like all of these factors come together. And people try to separate them so much, not realizing it's all in one thing. You got to think, meat has hormones, chicken has hormones.
Woo.
You're eating the stress hormones.
Talk about
You're
it.
stressed.
Look,
you know.
How was that? How was
And
that animal
I'm
prepared?
not
Like for
judging
you to
y'all.
eat?
I'm
Like,
not judging y'all because believe me, I eat it too. I say these things because I have to teach myself. I have to preach to myself just as much as I'm preaching to anybody else. So it's just the reality of it. We don't think that deep in it. Like we're just like, okay, we about to go to Popeyes and then, we're gonna drink or we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But you're not realizing like all of this, and then you stressed, you're stress eating. It's just a lot that you guys have to start being mindful. Like Fee says, just being more mindful. Especially if you know what your week's gonna be like, what your weekend's gonna be like. Hey, at least eat fruit every morning, or hey, at least get a cup of vegetables at night. Try to
have some greenery in your food. I feel like if your plate is like a rainbow color with greens and vegetables and things like that, then you're doing good. So you always want to make sure that you have a healthy serving of fruits and vegetables. I know it's some fruits people don't eat, but just get what you like and just try to make it work.
Right.
Yeah. Do you want to like share with them like for you on a typical day when you do like, because you cook and you actually know how to cook, so like what you would typically cook? Yeah,
I guess I would say for a typical morning for me is always, I'm typically doing either 2 to 3 boiled eggs, and then I will do fruits for the rest of the morning. For lunch, I've started doing a lot more wraps, so I'm using like salmon, lettuce, onions, tomatoes, and like a little bit of Caesar dressing. It's kind of light. And then if not, maybe a smoothie. For dinner, if I make it to dinner, most of the time I skip. But if I make it to dinner,
did you skip because you're not hungry, or you're like?
I was about to say I don't.
We don't want to think we're promoting unhealthy stuff. Like I skip.
I'm not either. I'm not hungry, or I'll either do like a smoothie, or if I am hungry, I'll maybe eat some more fruit at night. To be honest, I told Fee today that tonight I'm baking some turkey wings.
She did.
And I'm making some cabbage, but I'm also gonna make some mac and cheese, and I'm gonna try to only eat a fourth of my mac and cheese.
Yeah, but it's important to look at like the nutritional facts later, especially when you're doing because you normally would make homemade, but you say you going the box route. She going the box route tonight, But when you're doing that and it's already processed and everything, look at that nutritional facts label and it'll tell you the serving size. Man, it'll save you so much. I'm telling you, it really will. Just making paying attention to those little small details. For me, I say, with all these chronic conditions, let the food be the medicine. A lot of times when you get diagnosed, it doesn't mean it has to be end all be all. Do the work.
Yeah.
Don't just rely on, okay, I'm gonna just take this pill my doctor gave me. And it's been times where we've had clients and some of them don't even know which pill does work. They doctor just prescribed all these medications. Here, take this.
They don't even know what they're taking.
They don't even know what they're taking. And that's sad.
They ask us.
Like, what is that for? And I'm like, that's concerning. Cause now I'm like, I need to call mama. Mom, this pill right here. My mama know what every last one pill she got to take.
Yes.
But it made me more mindful and make sure that I'm tapping in, because my mom doesn't live in the same state as me. But make sure that I'm tapping in, because some of the clients that we see, their kids not as hands-on with them as we are with our parents. I'd say.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so I would say advocate for your own health, educate yourself.
Yeah. Nobody's
saying go to the extreme and just, I'm plant-based, because people who plant-based who are overweight. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's people who are just plant-based, they're overweight. Because they're packing on all the carbs. They're not eating healthy because they're plant-based. When I look at the restaurant Slutty Vegan, the food is delicious, but that's junk food. That's not real food. That's something you like, okay, I'm gonna have a junk day. And that's where I'm gonna go if that's what I want to do. But for me, I've learned to make that food at home so I can kind of stay on top of how much seasoning I'm using, where am I sourcing my ingredients from, like stuff like that. I've even learned how to make me some what meat that I did some pecan meat and made myself some tacos. I be taking pictures, sending her pictures of my food. She'd be like, "Oh, Fee, that looks so good." I said, "Girl, I know."
It looked so good. It was so good. I showed the whole office and they were like, "Wait a minute."
Like,
did this on the
Yep.
And so that's what I was gonna get to too. Like, you know, when you think of Cheez-Its and Oreos being vegan, that does not mean just because they're a vegan snack does not mean they're good for you.
No.
So we're not saying, okay, be vegan, be plant-based.
No,
we're not saying that at all. But just I think because everyone jumps to that extreme, okay, well, let me go vegan, let me go plant-based. No, it's just again researching, reading the nutritional labels, again, getting your blood work done so you know what you need to focus on and what you want to build on. But just again, reading the nutrition labels and maybe cooking a lot of the stuff at home.
Yes.
I've learned that I don't like meal prepping because I don't like leftovers. But I've learned that, okay, if I don't like meal prepping, I could just take the time out of my day, time management skills, and cook it at night, cook it the night that I want to eat it. That's not so that I don't give myself the excuse of going to Chick-fil-A or going to Wendy's or eating the things I know I shouldn't be eating.
Yeah. And, you know, again, like, you know, maintenance and intervention is pretty much the things that we just discussed would be nutrition, eating healthy nutrition, exercising regularly. That's a big part, just being active. I feel like if you do both of those, focus on your nutrition and get more active, you'll be making some really good strides. And when you go back to your doctor, they're gonna be like, well, what are you doing different? Because they're gonna see it's gonna show up in your numbers. Like you can sit here all day and tell them you're doing these things and you're not, but it's gonna show up in your numbers like dang. So I just feel like I'm gonna leave you with this. Like just be more mindful, advocate for your own health, educate yourself. Just because you're diagnosed with these chronic conditions doesn't mean that it's end all be all. Do the work. Like fight for your life. You know, I hate when people say, "Oh, well, we gonna all gotta die one day." Yeah, we do. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna rush myself to the grave by eating all this trash food. Again, I'm not saying I eat perfect every day. Right. I don't. But just be more mindful in what you're doing. Take care of this body. I feel like if you take care of your body, it'll take care of you. When I get 70, I want to be able to still walk and run and do things, you know. I don't want to be 70 and I'm barely making it and people got
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who my friends were. Like, take care. And then, like we said before, the food feeds the brain. Like what you put in your body is what makes up your body and how you function. So that's what I'll leave you with.
I was just gonna say the last thing that we could do is go over the numbers. Like,
you
know what is good cholesterol levels. So for your LDL, it needs to be under 100. For your HDL, it needs to be 60 or higher. So it should total under 200 for the total cholesterol. When you're at risk, your LDL is 100 to 159, and then your HDL in males would be 40 to 59, and then for females is 50 to 59, leaving your total cholesterol at 200 to 239. When you're in the danger zone, your LDL is 160 or higher. Your HDL for males is under 40, and your HDL for females is under 50, leaving you with a total of 240 and higher. So you just want to make sure you're focusing on your LDLs being under 100, HDLs for both males and females 60 or higher, leaving you with a total under 200 for total cholesterol. So those are the ranges that we want you to stay in, the heart healthy ranges, not the at risk or dangerous ones. But again, don't when your results come back, don't get discouraged. You know, stay positive. It's all, no matter at what age you get diagnosed. I don't care if you're 75, you can still reverse it. It's still reversible. So just focusing on, okay, again, food, diet, nutrition altogether,
exercise,
physical activity, just keeping your mental health intact, so that all of this can be reversible.
I agree. All right. Well, thank you, Lala, for joining me today and, getting the word out to the people. Please like and share this video. Lala, you want to leave them with your social?
Yes, my Instagram is gorgeous_Lala. Lala with 3 A's, LALAA.
And of course, you guys know you can reach me at Body by Fee and also at Ditch Inc 19 on IG if you have any questions. And hopefully you guys learned something valuable today, and we will tap in with you guys next time.